starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
You know it's Mr. Feelings and Wildfire Entertainment. Spider, you know what we think. And we tell them already making money could never be a sin. Wildfire, what did I say? Huh?
Show me some money, enough of them get vexed. Show me some money, enough of them wonder what come next. Show me some money, enough of them start screw. Nigga, me not care about you. Show me some money, enough of them bad mind. They want stop Mr. Feelings from Shabba, but his mind is going to be mine. But his mind is going to be mine.
Me never born with no gold spin on my mouth. No, me never living on a 3-story house. No, me never know about no expensive coach. No, me just know what hustling all about. Yeah, me hustle hard and me not stop play. Me hustle hard 'cause that is the way. Thank Father God for guiding me through the day. That's why me always a hope and pray. When you a climb them, why you fi fall? When you a walk them, why you fi crawl? Bad mind nigga, why you fi stall? But them can't get you out no after all. So we a hustle every day. We a hustle and you know we not play. Gotta make the money, make it anyway. Gotta make the money that they say.
Some money enough of them get vexed. Show me some money enough of them wonder what come next. Show me some money enough of them start screw. Nigga, me not care about you. Show me some money enough of them bad mind. They want stop Mr. Feelings from Shabba, but his mind is going to be mine. But his mind is going to be mine.
I'm a money dreamer. Big up my friend Charlie Black, always look clean. scream. Me get for understand what the dollar sign mean. Some money bend up, some money lean. Some money make your friends switch from your team. Ever fresh, always clean. Gucci vest and Gucci jeans. But Gucci shoes, it never get lean. Making money, you know what I mean. We making money. We making money. Never act funny. We never act funny.
Back at it again, back at it again. God, yeah. I'm going to end everything all right. Hope everybody good as we continue tonight and let's start the things because everybody will take time and check in. You understand? Everybody will take time and check in. Big up on yourself. I want you guys to share the live. Please share the live. You understand? That we are dealing with wrong here. So share the live for us. You see me? Share the live for us. Okay, you know the ball game go already over here, so you understand? Big up everybody upon the ones and twos and threes. And definitely take time for checking on the live. You understand? It's Friday night. I don't see the vibes as nice. The vibes is hard. We continuing with the vibe. You understand? Continuing with the vibe. So last night we finished off with 14, so that means we're going into 15. You understand? Of who the fuck did she married. First and foremost, want to say shout out to all those persons who definitely subscribe to the channel. Make sure you put your post notification bell on. Put your post notification bell on. The phone lines are definitely open, guys. You guys could definitely call in. Also, I'm going to pin a link little more in the comment section so you guys could get a chance to join the live if you want for us to have a proper one-on-one conversation. You understand? And so, you don't know anything already. We got to everybody that definitely check in on the panel. Love you guys. You done is a pleasure having you here and everything is clear and alright, you know what I mean? Yeah man. Your boy Fire Feelings on the panel. Like I say, if you got your party and needed to advertise, you guys could check us out also, you know what I mean? Yes. Before we jump into this, let's go to a quick commercial break and then we're gonna be back with you guys.
Get ready for the ultimate party experience, Elegance, on Saturday the 30th of March at Caribbean Fest, Queens, New York. Aries season, Gold Clears, birthday celebration with music by DJ Munda, RG Entertainment, Danger Vibes, and Rising Rock Sound System. Aries season, live performances by Famous Easy, Foreign Keys, and Pioneer. Buy your tickets now on Eventbrite. Gold Clears birthday party at Caribbean Fest on Sunday the 30th of March. Aries season, Elegance. Get ready for the ultimate party experience, Elegance, on Saturday the 30th of March at Caribbean Fest, Queens, New York. Aries season, Gold Clears, birthday celebration with music by DJ Munda, RG Entertainment, Danger Vibes, and Rising Rock Sound System. Aries season, live performances by Famous Easy, Foreign Keys, and Pioneer. Buy your tickets now on Eventbrite. Gold Clears birthday party at Caribbean Fest on Sunday the 30th of March. Aries season, Elegance.
All right, remember the 30th. Look out for that one. It's going to be crazy easy. My boy gone clear anywhere you at. You know the vibe is already. You understand? As we continue with number 15, let's jump into this.
Okay, part 15. Who the fuck did I marry? So in December of 2020, around beginning of December, we had a conversation, kind of a come to Jesus heart to heart conversation. And both of us had grown up in the church, and the fact that we were not married but living together, the fact that almost had a baby together, bothered both of us. Both of our families, my family and his family, were very adamant. Like, okay, y'all either need to get married or y'all need to separate. And so I'm walking around with a ring on, which I'll post a picture of the ring because, God, there's so much to unpack. But anyway, walking around with the ring. And so he said to me, whatever I need to do my part to make this work, I'm willing to do. At the same time, it wasn't that I did not trust him as much as it was I felt like I wasn't trusting myself. Because, again, like I said in the previous video, I know what I saw, I know what I read, I know what I've heard, but fuck, something was not sitting right with me. And every time I would question it in my head, the other side of me was like, okay, you know he ain't lying about the money because you saw it. So you know he ain't lying. Girl, are you that... Like, I remember saying to myself, are you that jaded that you don't even know what it's like to have a decent man? Yes, I really had the audacity to have that thought. So we agreed at the beginning of December, like, we wanted to be together. I believe I loved him. I believed he loved me. So the decision was made that we were going to get married. It's still COVID, so we had to follow certain protocol. So we filed our marriage license in Fayette County, Georgia, because you could not get an appointment in Clayton County to save your life. So we filed the marriage license in Fayette County. On our marriage license, it asked the number of previous marriages. He said 1, I had 0. It asked for our social security numbers. He put his social security number down. I put my social security number down. I mentally wrote down his social security number. And I did a background check. I did a background check after I had filed a marriage license. Yes, I know, but I did. The background check, nothing came back. It was like no results found. I did a criminal background check, nothing came back. So I thought one of two things. Either I had the wrong social, meaning I wrote down the wrong social, or my paranoia was unfounded. There's nothing wrong with him, because he has been always throughout the relationship a big stickler about law enforcement, following the law, because his dad was a retired police officer. So this is someone who has been... This is a guy who would check to make sure my tail lights were working, make sure my signals were working, make sure my oil was good, make sure I had enough gas in the car. So when the criminal history came back with no results, I was like, well, of course there isn't, because the man probably hasn't had so much as a speeding ticket. So we filed the marriage license, and then we made an appointment to get married, and waiting for the judge to come out of chambers so that she could marry us. And the reason why I'm pausing is because, my God, if I could go back and see that young woman sitting in that lobby. Wow. I know we can't go back in time. But damn, if I could go back in time, I would. I didn't tell anyone I was getting married because I was afraid that we had tried before in September and something came up. So I didn't want to tell anyone. I didn't want to get anyone's hopes up. I didn't want to get my hopes up. I know that's bad, but again, said I would be honest even if it's ugly. I told my mom, my family that we got married, told my friends. They could not believe it. My mother was relieved, but she had no idea about what was going on. My aunt was more like, really? You married him? My friend, the one who took me to
I have a shout out to my brother 876 Bliss. Yeah, people, make sure you check out him YouTube channel. You know what I mean? My brother that. You don't understand? Big up yourself, brother. Welcome to my podcast channel. You know what I mean? It's a pleasure. I don't know if you know what's going on with this situation here with this female. We should say she don't know who she married, but you know what I mean. If you know what's going on, you could give me a piece of your, insight, a piece of something we you think. You know, we could dissect it. You understand? But big up yourself. Otherwise, you know what I mean, brother. Yeah, man.
the hospital for the miscarriage was like, I wish you would have told me, like, you deserve to have people there, take pictures and celebrate and all this other stuff. Um, and she was like, she's the type of friend, if you like it, I love it. You rock with them, I rock with them. The moment you don't, I don't either. So she was supportive. My other girlfriends were happy for me. They just hated that I had to get married during COVID. Because they were like, we would have loved to have, thrown you a bridal shower and a bachelorette party and all of that. It just sucks that you couldn't experience that. So we got married on a Tuesday. Um, on the way home, stopped and got some wings. Went home and I had to get ready to go to work the next day. And life. I got married January 5th. By January 31st, I knew I was in trouble.
She don't know she was in trouble by January 31st. She get married January 5th. And by January, so money it ain't good. Something right. What I'm saying right true, right, is that, is that she's crazy. She know all the time what she going through, but like she just wanna know her death. She wanna see she dead. That is the whole thing with she. She wanna see her dead cause she don't know this man making sure clown. She don't know this man ain't got time with she. You understand? She see it clearly. No, a lot of persons are saying that, you know what I mean, when they saw his video, they was like they not believing him and another person believe him and so forth. But at the end of the day, I just don't believe him 100% when I heard what he said. But we're gonna show that video in a few as we dissect. Still be on 15. So let's dissect that. Big up everybody for checking in on the ones and twos. Like I said, share the live, give the video a thumbs up, smash that subscribe button if you haven't as yet. Put your post notification bell on and put it on all so you be notified at all time when we go live. Every time, you understand, right over here. So as we continue, let's continue.
I still didn't know how deep, but I knew I was in trouble. So, to give you all a very, very, very candid idea, got married January 5th. The normal things that married newlyweds do when we got married completely stopped. And that was not by me. You always hear men talk about, man, now that we're married, she don't. In my case, it was the exact opposite. It was the exact opposite. So, anyway, because this is not a forum to be all R-rated or whatnot, but y'all get what I'm saying. So, we got married January 5th. January 6th, I went to work. It was a lot of people congratulated me because it kind of word got out that I had gotten married. January 7th, I filed the paperwork to change my last name. And if you were following me, you can go back like 15, 16 videos, and I talk about how I had to change my name back to my maiden name. But I changed my name within about 3 days of getting married. My attitude was, this is the bed that I made. I'm going to do right by him. I'm going to do right by my marriage. I took marriage seriously, and when I married him, I absolutely married him thinking I'm going to be
Really?
with you for the next 40, 50 years. So we're going to have to figure this shit out.
Really?
That was my mindset. I did not get married to turn around and be divorced in 6 months.
You
I
have a
got
point.
married
You have a point.
January 5th, 2021. And by January 31st, I knew I was in serious trouble. So that is where we are. The next set of videos, the next set of all this will be me talking about how things went downhill before it crashed and I found everything out. In the meantime, tomorrow is my birthday. So, happy birthday to me.
All right, cool. It's 15. She married the 5th, and by the 3rd or 4th, she knows she was in trouble. She knows she was in trouble when she don't go through all of that. She don't go through this whole semester she been through, whereby they met, house was to buy, Benz was BMW was to buy, wedding was to go off, where the wedding finally kick off. You understand? But there's so much red flags that she was seeing. You understand? Why would you go and put yourself in the position? You're supposed to, as you see though, give it more breeze. Give it some breeze. You know what I mean? Yeah, give it some breeze. Got to give it some breeze. Right. So, you see it? Why put yourself in though? But it is what it
You
is.
haven't set up any HomeKit accessories. You can connect smart devices.
What's talking to you? Anyway, let's continue. Here we should go step on number 16.
The fuck did I marry? This is the interlude, basically. I'm not recapping on this video. I'm just kind of answering some stuff that has been written to me. Someone was like, why are you airing your business out on social media? It's a valid question. For me personally,
I think I done this. Yes, I did. I did that one already. Share to everybody that checking. Please hit that share. Share the live. Please share the live.
part 17, who the fuck did I marry? So, for context and just to clarify some stuff, going forward, I'm going to now. Part 17, who the fuck did I marry? So, for context and just to clarify some stuff, going forward, I'm going to now call my ex-husband, I'm going to use the name that I call him in real life. So that way it clears up the whole fiance, boyfriend, husband, ex-husband thing. So, his name is Legion. Anyone that knows me will tell you that is what I call him. So, Legion and I, when I left off at part 16, or excuse me, part 15, Legion and I got married January 5th of 2021. For the first 2 weeks, things were fine. We got into like a routine, basically. I would go to work, he would go to work. He was still leaving the house at around 6:15 every morning. He was still on the phone with his brother, the one that lived in Philly, every morning. They would just, that was their time to talk. From what I was told, the brother got off work, I guess he must have worked the third shift. And so he was getting off work as Legion was getting ready to go to work. So that was the perfect time for them to talk. He would talk to his brother in Baltimore and the brother in Augusta pretty much, just a quick phone call here and there, if not every day, every other day. So everything was pretty much the same. I would talk to my mom almost every day. I would talk to my aunt almost every day. So it was nothing to kind of, that's weird. That's what the morning routine was. He would talk. So I worked at Georgia State Patrol. And said this in a previous video, but again, there were things I said in previous videos that I remember saying, hey, remember that because it's going to come back later. So I worked at Georgia State Patrol. I had been working there for almost 8 years, 7 or 8 years by the time Legion got into the picture. He was fine with the fact that I worked within law enforcement. I'm not a trooper. I'm not a sworn officer. I'm a civilian. However, again, his dad was a retired police officer. So he was perfectly fine in the beginning with the fact that I worked for Georgia State Patrol. He had been to my office before. He had met some of my co-workers. Obviously, even with COVID, because I still had to go into the office 2 or 3 days a week, he had been up there. So the friend who took me to the hospital when I had my miscarriage has met him. He and I have been to her home with her and her significant other before. So again, even in the world of COVID, when there were little times where you could get together with people, he has met people in my life. He has met my friend, or that particular friend, and he has met some of my coworkers. So when we got married, the first 2 weeks, like I said, was fine. And then it's as if something snapped. Something just changed. What was totally acceptable before, suddenly little comments were made. Why are you wearing that to work? You get off at 3:30, so you'll be home by 5, right? Things that had never happened before. He had never questioned what time I'm gonna be home. Really, he didn't need to question it because when I'm off work, I leave. So it was never a situation of, oh, I'm gonna just sit around at work and just run my mouth because I have nothing to do. And then it turned into, he would call me every day from work, and I'm going to demonstrate how those phone calls went, but he would call me every day from work. And if he even so much as heard a male voice in the background, he would have little comments to me. Who was that? Are they in your office? Man, I never know who's around you, because it seemed like every time I call you, I have the hiccup, sorry. It seems like every time I call you, there's some man around. And I'm just like, at first I kind of shrugged it off. I laughed it off because it really truly was absurd to me. But then it became a bit more frequent. And so I really just didn't feed into it because I'm like, I don't know if this is some insecurity. I don't know if this is jealousy, because nothing has ever been done to make you feel any sort of insecure type of way. I've never entertained another guy, never flirted with another guy. Like, I don't know where this is coming from. So it is also important to note, we got married January 5th. Things started changing around 2 weeks later. And the reason why I know it's 2 weeks is because I had recorded an audio diary on January 21st is the date of the audio diary. And I talk about how maybe I had unrealistic expectations because it seemed as if things were changing with he and I. So 2 weeks pass, he starts making little comments. End of January comes, he informs me that he wants to start looking for a house again. I had no real desire to go through that process. So what he decides is that he's going to look for a house for us using his friend, the realtor, the one I did not meet. So he tells me that he and his friend have been talking, and he's going to start looking at houses. And what he's going to do is basically, if he feels like it's a house I would like, then he wants to show it to me, because he feels like, I know that your attitude really isn't, you're in the mood to look for a house, so I'm gonna start looking. And then if I think it's a great house, then you can come see it. um and I remember thinking, that's not that's not gonna work. You're not going to choose a house without me. He was like, no, I'm not going to choose the house, but I just think that, me and old boy have been talking. And so he has some houses that he is representing. He wants to show me. So why don't you let me look at it? And if it's worth the time, then I'll bring you to look at it. So he already had some sort of plan in place after talking to his friend, about how he's going to start looking at houses. This is the end of January 2021. So I kind of threw my hands in the air and was just like, whatever, because I'm not getting emotionally involved in looking at houses. And for me, that's kind of what it was. I felt like I would see a house, I could picture us living there, and then it gets snatched away somehow, some way. I didn't want to go through that. So the reaction that he wanted, which was for me to throw a fit, I did not do. I was just like, okay, all right, like, I trust you. And remember that I said the reaction he wanted, because that's going to come back later. So he started looking at houses. Funny enough, the houses that he looked at, none of them I actually saw. But he would call me and say, I'm at this house in Sandy Springs with the realtor friend. Apparently his realtor friend's name was Scott, not to be confused with the other Scott, the one that was actually helping us, that dropped us as clients. I want to make that clear. There were two Scotts. One is the realtor who was representing us, who said, hey, I need proof of funds.
Like we said, share the live, man. Share the live. Share the live. Who just check in the building?
If you don't have those proof of funds, I cannot show you any more houses. The other Scott is his friend,
Pleasant good night to you, Chakiri.
who
Welcome down to Let's Start the Things.
he had talked to on the phone at least
You know, we there 17 right now. Yeah, man, number 17.
50 to 100 times in front of me. That's the Scott that he said is going to show me this house in Sandy Springs. Apparently the house was like $800,000. So he was like, I think that if I like the house, then I'm gonna bring you out here so you can see it. All right. Now let's go into part 18.
Definitely, she is trouble. Big up to everybody that checking in on the ones and twos. You understand? I want you guys to give the video a thumbs up. Please give the video a thumbs up. Share the live. You know the vibe over here. It's Abotar, the Things YouTube channel. For those persons who haven't as yet smashed that subscribe button as we proceed to number 18. You understand? So big up everybody that definitely checking in and showing their love. You know the code over here, so
Okay.
you understand. You know the code. Like we said, the phone lines are definitely open also. So you know what to do, guys. You understand? Shakira, big up yourself. Number 18, we at.
Part 18. Who the fuck did I marry? So he
Put
starts looking at houses in Sandy Springs, Alpharetta area with his friend Scott. I did not see any of these houses. I did not go. I didn't want to go. So what was starting to change is, remember I said before, he would leave the house every day at around 6:15. He would be home every day between 3:30 and 4 o'clock without fail. It was so, I shouldn't say it was annoying, but I could set my clock by the fact that I would hear that garage door open between 3:30 and 4 o'clock every day that he went to work. Even during lockdown, he still had to go to work. His job was only locked down for maybe a week. For me, I was allowed to work from home, but unfortunately, I did not handle it well. And so I would fall asleep and not check email. So my boss was like, "Yeah, you're going to have to come back to the office because you're not trustworthy." And I wasn't. I mean, I would watch Netflix and not even be on my computer. So I had to start going back to work every day, 5 days a week. And I was, me and another lady were the only two in there because we were the only two who did not handle work from home properly. Anyway, that's another story. So Legion would, he started to not come home by 4 o'clock. He started to come home 5, 5:30, 6:30, sometimes 7 o'clock,
What?
because he was saying that he was looking at houses after work with his friend Scott.
You looking for house 5 o'clock? What you mean 5 o'clock in the afternoon or 5 o'clock in the morning? Judge, God.
So it definitely was noticed that things are changing. And I just, at this point, kind of emotionally and mentally, I was just like, I don't know what to do. This is the end of January. Remember, I told you in part 15, I got married January 5th. By January 31st, I kind of knew I was in trouble. And by the end of January, sure enough, I knew things were changing in a way that I was like, I hate to sound redundant, but what the fuck is going on?
Bitch thing was changing all the time. You just was making space.
So he's still maintaining the story of looking for a house, looking for a house. I had already let him know my lease is up in August. When my lease is up in August, I am moving to Cobb County. And then my attitude was kind of like, you can go with me or you can stay here. I don't care, but I'm moving. I'm leaving Clayton County. The reason why I was so adamant to move was not because of Clayton County. It was not because of the house that I was in. It was because Legion had started to create this narrative that he was beefing with my female neighbor. He was trying to get me to believe that my female neighbor to the left of me somehow was interested in him. And so she would make these little comments, and he would come in the house complaining about her and her music and the fact that she had, different men over to the house. It was driving me crazy. And all of this was kind of starting in January. So when I say that, it really seems like we got married January 5th, and then we had 2 weeks of peace, and then something just snapped. I literally mean something just snapped. So he's looking at houses. Now we're moving into February. February obviously is my birthday month. He did good. He did good to make Valentine. He went all out for Valentine's Day. He went all out for my birthday. My birthday and Valentine's Day are February 14th and February 15th. So he went all out on both days. Y'all ain't even gonna believe this story. But I said I would share even when it makes me look bad. So, the weekend after my birthday, and what I mean by that is if my birthday was on a Tuesday, we're talking about Saturday. The weekend after my birthday, he gave me money to go to the nail salon, go get a manicure and pedicure. So I leave the house. I take his car. His car was in the driveway. We had a key to each other's car because, again, we're married at this point. We're talking February 2021. So I take his car and I drive to the nail salon over in Morrow. I'm in the chair getting a pedicure, and I get a text message from my husband saying, someone was just at the house looking for you. And I'm like, who was looking for me? Who was it? And he said, I don't know. I think it was some, this is through text. I don't know. I think it was some dude you used to mess with. Okay. I was like, what are you talking about? He was like, I'm telling you, some guy just came to the house looking for you. I told him you were not here. So at this point, y'all, I'm in the chair at the salon. I'm freaking out because I'm like, who the fuck has the audacity to come to my home unannounced, uninvited, talking about they're looking for me? Especially because before I met my husband, I was working the last shift at
Good night,
Amazon
good night.
as a part-time job.
I want to say good night to everybody that definitely checking in on the ones and twos. Easy Kaya. What's up, friend? Everything all right on the ends?
So I had not
Share the live though, share the live.
dealt with, dated anything with anyone for about a year before I met him in March of 2020. So I really was like, who the hell is this coming to my house? So I finish the pedicure, I head home. Once I get home, I'm like, what are you talking about? What happened? And so I'm frazzled in a way. And he's calm. He was like, yeah, it was a black Dodge Charger. They pulled into the driveway, they backed in. They backed in as if they had been here before. So clearly this was someone who's been to your house. He got out the car. He said, I opened the door and I went out there and I said, is there something I can help you with? And he said, the guy said, I'm looking for, and gave him my name. And he said, I'm sorry, she's not here. And
Well,
he was like, oh, okay. All right then. And just got in the car and drove off. And I was like, my brain stopped working because I'm thinking, who the heck could this be? A Dodge Charger? I was like, are you sure that it wasn't law enforcement? Like, was it the sheriff's office trying to serve me with a lawsuit for a credit card I didn't pay? He was like, no, he was in regular clothes. He was like, and it was not a police car.
you, this is trouble. I telling you right, real thing. Shakira, real thing. No lie. I she is trouble.
It was on a marked unit, basically. And so I'm just like, who the heck could this be? And he was like, I know who it was. And I said, who? He was like, I think it was your ex. I said, what ex? Part 37.
Wait, man. I'm 18 done just so, man. Judge again. Hold on, people. Hold on. I tell you a session over here, so. Big up everybody that definitely check in. Please share the live. Share the live. It look like we have to go to. Oh, the thing that's cut we like that, dog. I think of that. Can't do it like that.
Okay, part 18. Who the fuck did I marry? So he says to me, the way.
So she said part 18. Me understand. Yeah, women, you women got time for. Yeah, please share. Give the video a thumbs up. Please give the video a thumbs up. Yeah, women got time for watch this thing every day. This thing is a woman thing. I wanna go live. You understand? I wanna go live. That's why I'm going live all the time. So big up to all the females them who done that to number 30, this and number 40. This cause is up to 50 or something like that. Big up to everybody who done watch it out and all these kind of thing. I ain't watch it out as yet. You know this is not a man thing, a regular man thing for watching this whole thing out like a soap opera. You understand? Cause although she getting me vexed. So I rather dissect it on a live. But still big up car here, say that number 37. Alright. We good. We that number 19. But I don't know why she said 18 and is 19 there.
Okay, part 18. Who the fuck did I marry? So he says to me, the way you're acting is real suspect, because I told you it was fine. I took care of it. He was like, I ain't even worried about it. He was like, obviously, that nigga didn't know that you now married, that you've moved on, and so now he knows it. But for me, it was the fact that I don't do pop-ups. Don't come to my house unannounced. So if someone has done that, for me, it automatically feels like a violation, and it feels like it needs to be addressed. So it was not as simple as,
Okay, and watch it as yet. All right, good. We watch it.
I already took care of it, it's fine, let it go. Nah, we ain't letting nothing go, because you don't have my permission to show up to my house. And before this turns into something where I'm going to be on Fox 5 News, I need to address that with you, because that is not okay. So he didn't like the reaction I had to the story he told me, where someone basically disrespected my home. And he felt like my reaction was really suspect. So what I'm gonna get into the little details that he did not know about. So he tells me, again, it was a black Dodge Charger. They backed into the driveway. A gentleman got out of the car and he asked for me by name, and Legion said she's not here. So I asked him, what does the guy look like? And he said, he was like, why does it matter? I said, what the fuck does he look like? So Legion proceeds to give me the most generic description you can give. He was like, well, he was shorter than me. Ex-husband is about 6'3", 6'4". He was shorter than me. He was brown skinned. I said, did he have a hat on his head? Mind you, I understand that before marriage, I was a damn fool. I understand that. But every woman has that moment where you only gonna fool her but for so long. And eventually puzzles start coming together. For me...
So what this come up about? This is what I'm trying to understand. What this part is really about? With this man coming to the house and he's saying is your ex or whatever he's seen. You understand? See, trying to say he know she ex direct, that she got for asking pinpoint questions like if he have on a hat, if he head ball, if he foot big. Come on. You understand? I know, but they're in relationship, and even if me and me partner have a discussion about our ex, obviously we got description, a proper description how this person look, dress. You know what I mean? Even if we step on we own little time when we there we own car and say no make a check. You understand? Straight up. Cause you just wanna know, sometimes you just wanna know the type of person that your partner pairing with until they reach you. You know what I mean? Like it's like a status settings. Like that is how I got it. Most men does have it like that. You know what I mean? So it's like that. Yeah. So me understand how come he don't really know the ex husband like 30 or how he dress or whatever it is. It's a lie. He picking a fight. He making up story and she just dumb. All right, Chiquito. Trouble there. I tell you, trouble there. She playing into a foolishness. Yeah. All right. That's what I'm trying to tell you. She's playing dumb. All right. As we continue. Shout out to those persons that are checking in on the ones and twos. Please give a video a thumbs up. The more you give a video a thumbs up, you understand, the more you like the video, the algorithm works. And push it out more to other persons. So please give the video a look. Yeah, man, let's hit the thumbs. Let's get the thumbs up thing. You understand? Everybody in our building, thumbs it up. Let's go.
I felt like moving into marriage, certain things started coming together. So I said to him, did he have a hat on his head? He was like, nah, he ain't wear a hat. So in my mind, I am mentally going down a list of every possible man it could be. And it was only like 4 men. I had been in that house about 3 or 4 years at this point. So I knew all of the people, and I'm talking about from maintenance down to ex-boyfriends. It was a total of like 4 men. So when he said that it was a black Charger,
They say don't ask what your ex, so the thing go.
I immediately was like, okay, I know that.
Some people that do it in a relationship, some people don't. Yeah, you understand? It's not like if really asking nothing. You understand? Yeah, man. But certain things must come up with certain man. When you meet certain man, there's a certain man. It is be like find out how the relationship end and them kind of thing. You know what I mean? And even for you own little time. You got enough people might do it. You mightn't do it, but they have enough people that do it out the road. You understand? Nothing wrong with that. Despite we don't care or we don't business. But still, you know what I mean? As we continue.
That crosses out one. He said he was shorter than him. All of them were shorter than him. I said, did he have a hat on his head? He said, no. That crossed out one because one in particular was a maintenance guy who always wore a hat on his head because he had like a bruise or something, and he was just self-conscious about it. So he always wore a hat. That leaves two. So I said, was he muscular or was he skinny? So Legion's getting all frustrated. I said, just answer the question. He was like, well, he was kind of in between. And I said, okay. He was in between. I said, so was he light skinned or was he dark skinned? He was like, I told you he was brown skinned. I said, was he my complexion? He said, no, he was brown skinned. That eliminates one. So now there's one left. And yes, the one left would have been the ex that I had dated for 2 years. And so he was like, I know it was your ex. I know it was your ex. And I was like, that don't make no sense because the ex that in my mind, I'm saying this, the ex that I had dated, he and I had no contact with each other. And he was not the type to just pop up at your house. That ain't his style. Not to mention, and I ain't tell Legion this, that man would not be caught dead driving a Dodge Charger. He hated Chargers because he drove it as a patrol car. So I didn't say anything. I just was like, that's weird. So what Legion didn't know is that at the time I had a security system. So I had a security system where anytime the front door, the garage door, or the back door was open, basically any entry point, anytime it was open or closed, it would send me a text message notification. So when he's telling me all this, I'm looking at my phone and I see a notification where the front door was opened and it was shut all within the same minute. So for example, if it says front door open at 1 p.m., front door closed at 1 p.m. So whatever he did was within those 60 seconds. He's telling me the story of the guy got out the car. He opened the door. He went out there, can I help you? And the guy said, I'm looking for, and Legion said, no, she's not here. And so he said the guy kind of was like, okay. And he was like, all right, thank you. And got in the car and drove off. Legion has also told me that he watched him drive out of the neighborhood, which means because of the way the house was set up, the townhouse, he would have still been outside watching this. I could be wrong, but something in me was like, that would take more than 60 seconds. So for the door to have been open and shut within the same 60 seconds, I was like, okay. So also what he didn't know, we didn't have a Ring door camera, but my neighbor did. And her Ring door camera caught my driveway. The view of the camera could see my driveway as well as her driveway. And so whoever was coming in the door, our driveways were right next to each other. And then on the other side of it was the grass. So
really, that's with me too.
It was a perfect view of my driveway. So she, I had texted her and I said, hey, were you home I think I texted her the next day because I said, were you home on Saturday? Da, 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 da. And she said, no, I wasn't. What's up? You know, everything good? And I said, can you look at your security system and see if there was a car that came to my house at such and such time? And I know I did not tell her the reason I was asking, but I was like, is there any way that your security camera caught if someone came to my house at this time on Saturday? She's like, yeah, sure, I'll look. And so maybe about a couple of hours later, she texted me back and said, hey, I looked at the camera, but I didn't see anything.
Chiquita, you're not lying. You're not lying.
And I said, okay, by any chance, did it catch if someone maybe walked up the driveway? Like maybe it wasn't a car in the driveway, but someone walked up. She said, I didn't see anything with your driveway yesterday. So I said, okay. And I knew that something in me, again, was like, nobody came to the house. So now here we are, a month and a half married. And now is when I'm like, how the fuck did he make that up? Because no one came to the house. No black Charger came to the house and pulled back into the driveway. Nobody got out the car and asked for me. Nobody was looking for me. So now I was sitting in the bedroom thinking through all this, and I'm like, because that's what happened. I'm looking at the text messages on my phone where he's telling me someone just came to the house looking for you. But no one came. So what was the purpose of that? And then something said to me, something in me said, he wanted to see your reaction. He just wanted to see the reaction. You had been too calm, and so he wanted to see a reaction. So this man gaslit me like I was Georgia Natural Gas just to get a reaction. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to part 20 of Who the Fuck Did I Marry? Okay, part 18, Who the Fuck Did I Marry? So he says to me, the way you're acting is real suspect because I told you it was fine. I took care of it. He was like,
God.
all right, part 20 of Who the Fuck Did I Marry? So after the black Dodge Charger incident, things were quiet. Legion was fine. Legion slept just fine. Me, that shit played over in my head for days and days and days. On one hand, I was like, I know nobody came. My head knew nobody came to the house. My heart was like, but maybe he didn't make it up. So the head and the heart were absolutely playing a tug of war because, again, I really couldn't fathom that he was making it up. But nevertheless, I filed it in the back of my mind in my little...
She could do say she's smart till she's dumb. Book sense, but not street smart. Yeah, man, this the whole thing is got two.
Filing cabinet, my mental filing cabinet. So a few weeks later, we go out to eat at this restaurant in Atlanta. It's a burger place, and I'm going to do my best by the time I post this to put the name of the burger place on the screen. So we go to the burger place, eat dinner, everything was fine. As we are leaving, he says to me, did I ever show you where my grandmother's buried? This is the grandmother that passed away from COVID in 2020. And I said, no. I was like, we haven't been over here. And so he was like, let me show you. So he drives us to the cemetery, which is not far from the restaurant. He drives us to the cemetery, goes around and around, and then it comes to like a little hill in the cemetery. And he was like, you see the headstone. The headstone had like the family name on it. And it did not have, for example, John David Doe. It just had Doe, Okay, so there were no dates on it. So it reminded me of just a headstone where it was probably multiple family members buried underneath it. That's what it reminded me of. And so he was like, my grandfather and my grandmother are buried there. I do recall him telling me when the grandmother died in 2020 that she wanted to be buried next to his grandfather. And so we're sitting in the car because we can see the headstone like on top of the hill from the car. And he tells me that that is where his grandmother and grandfather are buried. That the family was able to get her, her wishes were to be buried next to the grandfather. Okay. So as we are leaving, we take a different route home. So we get on the highway. If you're from Atlanta, you'll know what I'm talking about. We get on I-75 North. And we're kind of we're just driving around, to be honest with you. But we're taking the scenic route. We get on I-75 North because the reason why I remember is because when you're on I-75 North going towards Atlantic Station, on the right-hand side, you will see the Varsity. You'll see all these tall skyscraper buildings. One of the buildings has the letters NCR on the building. As we're coming up towards the building, he says to me, do you see the NCR building? I said, yeah. He said, the building behind it, my job bought that building. That's where we're going to have, we're setting up operations. And I was like, why the hell would y'all buy a condiment company in downtown Atlanta? He was like, no, we're not doing production there. It's just going to be offices, and that's where we're going to handle like the business portion. The production is still being done in Gwinnett County out in Duluth. And so I was like, oh, okay. He was like, that's where I keep the company car. So I was like, the company car? I said, aren't you supposed to be bringing the company car home? And he was like, I don't want to bring the company car home because it's Clayton County and it's a $90,000 car. And I don't want no problems. So he's telling me that he keeps the company car at the building downtown Atlanta that's behind the NCR building. I barely could see what building he's talking about, but he was like, it's the building right behind it. And so he's telling me that that's where his office is. So I said to him, take me to your office. I know it's a Saturday, but shit, you one of the VPs, right? So take me to your office. No, I had not been to his office simply because, again, COVID. So I was like, take me to your office. And he was like, I can. He was like, that's no problem. So do I have the other phone? I do. So y'all are in luck. So I can maybe reenact how this goes. So he gets off the exit and starts driving towards the NCR building. While he's driving towards the NCR building, he always has kept his phone in his left pocket. This is my left hand. So he pulls his phone out and he starts calling. He tells me he's calling Willie. Willie is supposed to be the head of security. So he's saying, let me call Willie real quick to make sure that the building's open. So he proceeds. This is another phone, but he proceeds to go ahead and call Willie. We're still driving, by the way. We're still driving. I'm on the phone, scrolling through Facebook, trying to figure out some random shit. But he's driving with the phone up to it. So driving with the phone. Next thing I hear, hey Willie, it's Legion. Hey, how's it going? I'm good. Hey, is the building open? No, I just want to take my wife up there so she can see it and see my office. Are you up there right now? You're not? Okay, is Mr. Justin working? Okay. So is there anybody up there that can physically open the building? Because I don't think my badge is going to get me at least in the front door because of it's on the weekend lock. Okay. Okay. All right, let me know. All right. Thank you, Willie. Bye. Y'all see how I did that? He's having this whole conversation while I'm sitting in the passenger seat. So then he gets off the phone and he says to me, Willie is not working and Justin apparently called out sick. So the building is locked and my badge won't get us in the front door. He was like, Willie's gonna see if there's someone else that can open the front door so we.
This space out. Who's really? Hey, this man know he's a lock man, but this man got words upon words and speech upon speech, argument upon argument.
So we can actually get in. He's like, my badge will get us on the floor, but it will not get us in the front door. No one ever called. So when he's getting off the highway, he basically turns onto Spring Street. Again, there's all kinds of shit I distinctly remember. He turns onto Spring Street so that he can then get on 75 South so we can go home. Never saw the office that day. But again, this is where he's saying that he keeps the company car. So when we get to part 21, I'll kind of go into detail about the whole company car a little bit more. All right, part 20 of...
She is trouble. I tell you, take us some spaghetti for your brother. We're up on the ends right now. We soon clip off and cut off, you understand? We're going to continue for the new week. Make sure you check in next week. We got some topics for the ladies next week also. I want y'all ladies to digest the topic. So let me do 21. And then deal with it. I know tonight is Friday. A lot of persons are outside. Everybody partying. All right. We getting late.
Part 21, who the fuck did
Share the live.
I marry? So, the company car apparently was a charcoal gray BMW. I believe it was a 5 Series. It was a 5 Series. I don't know much about the sedans. Y'all know I wanted the X5, dark blue with the cognac interior. He got the BMW 5 Series, charcoal gray. He sent me a picture of the car. So I did see a picture of the car. After this whole NCR building, take me to your office, that is what he's claiming, is that he leaves the company car at that location. He's saying that he drives from Riverdale to Midtown, switches out cars, and then drives from Midtown to Duluth. Those that don't know how Metro Atlanta is, basically Midtown would be in between where we live and Duluth. I only know that he left the house every day at 6:15. I know that I never physically saw the company car come to our home. Saw pictures.
That's what I'm trying to say. So with all of these red flag, he's giving me a negative vibe to don't believe him. Even. You understand? It's not like I'm on her side, but every time this dude is to show this woman something or take this woman somewhere to meet somebody, it's some bullshit. Some BS. All the time, bro. Same thing with his sister. You go into his sister next thing you get some call. His sister says something, call off. Every time is a problem. What more you want to see? What more I want to see? People share the live, like we said. Drop those comments. Let me know what you think. Let's dissect as we go through at 21. Let's blaze up the place, now, man. Let's come on. Let's do this.
Plural. So when he told me,
We want we go a little late tonight. All right, well, we dissect and share the live. Thumbs up. Drop those comments. Let's get it.
he got a BMW 5 Series. Keep in mind, this is after I had been promised a dark blue X5. So I was a bit salty. I don't care if it is a company car. I was a bit salty. I will admit that. Because I felt like you get to drive the car that you know I really want, which is a BMW. And so he would call me from the car. He would tell me, yeah, I may just drive home in this car and not switch back to his personal car. He was like, I don't know. He did that a lot. And I realize now in 2024, he did that because he knew how excited I was to actually see the car. Because shit, I wanted to test drive it myself, to be honest with you. And he knew that. So, reactions. So he would say stuff like that, like, man, I'm so tired. I might just drive the company car, go ahead and go home. And then, just let me park it in a garage type thing. So eventually he stopped doing that because I didn't want to hear nothing about that car. I'm driving a Nissan and you driving a BMW after you promised me a BMW. So I don't really want to hear nothing about it. So in terms of the company car, I did.
You're making joke on a woman wants a BMW. You got guess she should be you say you're giving she a BMW. Yo, don't play with females and their rides. If you say you go buy a Benz to your girl, make sure you buy the Benz because she can drive you nuts until you, hey, boy. She say she wants a BMW X5. Jesus Christ.
Did see that it was a, according to the pictures, a charcoal gray BMW 5 Series. If you're asking me the exact model, I don't know. But I know it was a 5 Series because I know the 7 Series is slightly longer. So it was a 5 Series sedan. So after the whole situation with the cemetery to see his grandmother and grandfather's headstone, then there was the NCR, the office is open, oh, it's not open, Justin ain't working, Willie ain't working. Willie is supposed to be head of security, but he ain't working. Okay. So at this point, I'm already numb. It is important for me to point out how numb I became dealing with him. Mind numbing, because I just got to a point where it was like, there's always something. There's always something. So, of course, we're not going to go to the office because there's going to be something.
You're going to be
So this is the end of February. My birthday had already passed. There clearly was tension on my end, not so much tension on his end. So I get home a couple of weeks later. We are now in the beginning of March. This is something personal about me. The only way you would know this is if you know me. I have been dying to go to London and Paris. I had a layover in London when I did a study abroad, but it's not the same. I want to go to London and be a whole tourist. I don't care. I want to see Buckingham Palace. I want to see the Tower of London. I want to see Paris. I want to see the Palace of Versailles. This is something, if you know me, you know she wants to see Paris. She wants to see London. So I get home from work. This is the beginning of March. I get home from work, and on the counter is a folder with like a little bow on it. And I'm like, oh, what is this? Is this like mail? Like, was this something that you got at work? He's like, nah, it's a surprise for you. I open up the folder. Inside the folder is like a trip itinerary. It is not an actual booked trip. It's like an itinerary. A trip for two to go from Atlanta to London. The trip should have happened, and it was The the month on there was like July. So it was a summer trip. So he tells me, I'm going to take you to London. He was like, I wanted to take you for your birthday, but certain things fell through. He was like, so this summer in July, we're going to go to London. He was like, I've already made a reservation for us to stay at the Savoy. Again, there's certain things that my brain just was like, remember that.
So wait a minute. You want to take you to London now? London? What the heck is this, man?
He said, I've already made a reservation for us to stay at the Savoy. I didn't know, as much as I want to go to London, y'all, I didn't know anything about the Savoy. And so I remember going to look it up because I was like, what is the Savoy? Well, apparently the Savoy is bougie. Very bougie. So I was so excited. I cannot tell y'all how fucking excited I was when I saw that he had printed out British Airways. Like, he was speaking my language. I am one of those people, I'm a planner. So when he's saying, I'm going to take you to London, and he took the time to research flights and print it out and research the Savoy and print it out. And there were different, not excursions, but there were different things that you could do. You could go see the Tower of London. You could go see Buckingham Palace, changing of the guard. We could go have high tea at certain places. He was like, I don't really want to go, but I know you're dying to go. So he was like, you know I love you, and I would do anything for you. Blah, blah, black sheep, have you any wool? And so he was like, I'm going to take you to London in July. The trip did not include Paris. That's fine. But I was so excited. So excited. And so this is the beginning of March. I was like, this is great. Hopefully this happens. I knew I needed to renew my passport. And he was saying that he had to renew his passport as well because his passport had expired. So both of us were like, okay, we need to get on this if we're going to try to make it to London in July, and it's now March. Me being the planner I am, I think I went to work the next day and printed out the passport applications so that we could fill it out and go ahead and get that process going. So, needless to say, something must have happened, and I don't remember what it was.
Something come up. Something always. Something is always come up. I swear. Sad man course. You know, we say salt. You really didn't need to go at the river, at the sea and wash off with the salt water. Cause sad man salt. Something always is happening by. Is what scrap is this?
We just simply didn't fill out the application for the passport. So, fast forward, we're now at mid-March. Mid-March, the decision was made that my mom, who lived in Arkansas, was coming to visit us. She would be coming, I believe, the second week of April, and she was going to stay a week, and then a few days. So, like, maybe a total of 9 days. Not quite 2 weeks, but a little over a week. So she was coming in April, and I was excited. Legion was excited because he was excited to physically meet my mom. He had talked to her on Zoom. He had talked to her on the phone, but he was excited to physically meet my mom. And my mom was excited to physically meet her son-in-law. So this is mid-March. I'm going to go into part 22 where I explain what happened with Facebook Messenger.
People, this is crazy. Yo, this is crazy. I swear. Remember to share the live. Show it to everybody that definitely logged in. I'll read some of the comments. Yo, I'm telling you, no lie, this shit is crazy, people. Pleasant good night to everybody. The real truth behind this scene, you know? Let's get some of the comments going. Another print out. No joke. Chiquita Sato, her level of stupidity is made his mind. I love that. I love that. Yeah, man. She's definitely crazy. Something wrong with her. I know she never lay eye on the company car. I know she never lay eye on a lot of things. Everything that he says she's gonna lay eye on, he never or she never got to lay eye on. You understand? Straight up. But let's run into number 20, 22. You know the code already. Let's get it.
Part 22, who the fuck did I marry? So now we are in March. This is right after he had surprised me with the announcement of we're going to go to London for a trip in July. Because we definitely didn't do a honeymoon. We definitely didn't do any sort of trips together. So the idea was we're going to do a trip in July together. One thing about Legion was that he was the guy who was like, I have nothing to hide. I don't lie. I don't like liars. If we're in a relationship, then everything should be out in the open. So I've always had his cell phone passcode. Never felt the need to look through his cell phone. And funny enough, I can tell y'all right now, disclaimer, I will never go through a cell phone again. You cheating piece. So anyway, so one day, this is mid-March, going like around March 20th. So we're heading in towards the end of the month. He was in the shower. Keep in mind, my mom is coming for a visit in April. So he was in the shower and he received a text message on his phone from a woman. The text message, because it was a preview, so the text message was something where if you didn't know the context of the text thread, you could either go left or you could go right with it. So me being just curious, I opened up the phone, put the passcode in, read the text, then read the thread. Come to find out, it was a text from his aunt. His aunt and his ex share the same name. That's why I say it could go left or it could go right. Text was from the aunt. So I looked at the text, went through the thread, nothing in there. So I went ahead, X'd out of the messages. I see that he has Facebook Messenger downloaded. And obviously it shows you the number of unread messages in the icon. So it showed that he had like 5 unread messages. So I clicked on it, just being nosy. And what do my wondering astigmatism eyes see? So in his Facebook Messenger is about 7 women. I can see their profile picture and I see their names. Some of them had a preview. The ones that he had not read, I could see the preview of the message. One in particular said, when are you gonna come get this? Y'all know what I'm talking about. So I clicked on that one first. And I'm reading through the thread. And so she's saying, when are you gonna come get this? But earlier in the thread, or further back in the thread, he had asked her, when are you gonna give me? And she said, when lockdown is over. So from what I could piece together, he had not yet physically gotten with her. But had there been no COVID, he would have smashed all day, every day. The other messages were innuendos, meaning the other messages from the other women were innuendos. They were not as graphic as the one between him and her. So I'm reading these messages, and what is interesting is that the person I am married to is not the person in these messages. Like, this man was on some nasty shit. And I say nasty not in a judgmental way, but in a, with me, he seemed to act as if I was damn near virginal white. And I clearly see evidence that you into some shit that with me, you acting like, nah, I ain't really into that. So I confronted him. I absolutely confronted him and was like, what the fuck is this? If 2 + 2 is 4 and 5 + 5 is 10, what the fuck is this? And so he did not, oh, that ain't what happened, blah, blah, blah. Instead, what he hit me with is, man, I was just playing around. Like, ain't nothing happened. I shouldn't have said all that, but I was just flirting. It ain't mean nothing. I don't even know that girl. I was just flirting. And so I'm like, is this what you into? And so he was like, no, it's not what I'm into. It was just stupid. It was stupid because I shouldn't have done it. So I'm going to be honest with y'all, because I've been honest all this time. What pissed me off the most was that here I am as a woman behaving, trying to do the right thing by him and this marriage. And you mean to tell me you out here offering your ding-a-ling to random chicks that you don't even know? I was more angry at the fact that I'm like, dude,
If it's one thing is make any female get angry, them find it just sending your private parts. Or any male too. Because even in a male world, I find me woman sending your private parts. Come on. What are you doing? So the man being sending it, he been sending photo of his ding-a-ling-a-ling-ling-ling-ling-a-ling. All right, as we continue. Over here, so sticky. The man playing is a saint all the time, but he's not.
Do you know how much I have turned down in order to be faithful to your dumb ass? And I'm seeing that you basically are out here acting like you got Skittles taste the rainbow.
He got Skittles taste the rainbows. I like the one, but
I was hurt. I was angry. I thought about getting my lick back. I'm just being honest. I did. And he played it off like it ain't nothing serious. It ain't nothing serious. Don't overreact. Don't get emotional. It was just dumb. He was like, I will delete the messages. I'll even delete Messenger. And I told him, I was like, that's really not good enough, because that's not going to fix the root of the issue. So this is where I introduced that we need to do marriage counseling. He didn't have any issue doing marriage counseling. We did not do premarital counseling, but he was like, that's fine. He was like, I don't have no problem doing marriage counseling because if anything, it can help us. So I thought that, okay, he may not have physically cheated from what I could see on the messenger. He may not have physically cheated, but he damn sure got caught, doing a little something, because they had exchanged pictures. So y'all know what pictures he sent. And I was disappointed, because I don't like men that send those type of pictures. But anyway, that's another issue. So we agreed that we would start marriage counseling. We also agreed that we would put on a united front when my mom got there. In other words, we were not going to argue. We, let's just act like everything is fine. But at that point, when my mother arrived in April, I could not stand him. I did not want to be, but we couldn't, he moved back into our bedroom, because he had moved into the guest bedroom when I saw the messages. Like 3 days before she came, he moved back into the bedroom, because obviously she needed to sleep somewhere. So I really could not stand him. And it was because I was busy second guessing myself, like, damn, what's wrong with me? Like, if that's what you into and I'm supposed to be your wife, like, let's have conversations. Like, shit, I went to FAMU. I understand some stuff, buddy. So it just was one of those things where it made me second guess, like, what's wrong with me? What did I do wrong? What is it that she got that I don't? Because you all out here willy-nilly, messaging her all hours of the night, because the thread went back quite a few weeks. I saw it in March. There were messages from December, November. So again, I'm just second guessing all kinds of stuff. Self-esteem taking a hit. So no, I did not want to be around him. I did not want, I didn't like him. Period. I did not like him. I left and I would just go for a drive because driving clears my mind. I called my aunt, told her what happened. I don't recommend that. I don't recommend calling family to tell them what's going on in your marriage. But I called my aunt, and my aunt lovingly was like, what do you want me to say? You married him. You know, he ain't your boyfriend. Y'all can't just break up. That's the hard part about marriage, is like, I mean, yeah, I guess you could leave him, but at the same time, you married him. So, honey, you're going to have to go back home. And y'all are going to have to figure this out. She was like, I can't give you advice on what you should do. I'm sorry that this happened, but you married him. So, even though it was just one drive, I went back home. And that's when the discussion was, we need to do marriage counseling. Part 22, who the fuck did I?
So he get busted sending photo to other females with his private parts. She find out. Head get mad. Understand? This is crazy. It's crazy to know the story goes straight up to 50. It's reasonable bullshit she taking, and she just like it. I don't understand. Alright.
Part 23, who the fuck did I marry? So, we agreed to do marriage counseling. I had found a pastor and his wife who agreed to do our counseling, basically. Our counseling was going to be on Zoom, and it was going to be every other week, every other Tuesday. Initially, Legion was participating in it. His body language seemed to be that he was open and receptive to the marriage counseling. Now, the pastor and his wife were deeply concerned at the fact that we had only been married 3 months, and we were already dealing with some form of infidelity. We were in marriage counseling, and as the pastor would put it, there seems to not be any sort of intimacy. They were concerned. Rightfully so. I think any person would be if they knew what was going on within those 3 months. So, the pastor and his wife, it is fair to note, we started counseling with them in the spring. We continued counseling with them up until a week before I found out what I found out, and he got kicked out. So, one of the first things that the pastor kind of talked to us about was, what was the deal with the Facebook Messenger stuff? And Legion was like, it was stupid. I shouldn't have done it. It really was just attention, and I got carried away. He felt like he was not going to, he kept saying, I'm not going to keep apologizing. I'm not going to keep getting persecuted. After I've told you, I'm sorry, I told you I wouldn't do it again, and I want us to move forward. You're either going to forgive me or you're not. The pastor and his wife were like, wow, the audacity is real on this one. So, needless to say, we started moving slowly forward. It was always in the back of my mind, just like it was in the back of my mind with that black Dodge Charger. It was one of those things where, okay, I see how you kind of are moving and operating. He came to me a few days after we started our first counseling session, and he was like, we should get a joint bank account. What he wanted to do was to each one of us have our own account, and to get a joint account for our money to go in there for joint expenses. Now, up until this point, he had been paying the rent, the utilities, and I really was just paying for my stuff. So now he's suggesting, look, we're married now, let's go ahead and get a joint account. I wasn't necessarily against it because I knew that I would still have my own account. I would still have my own savings. So what I countered with was, okay, let's take a look and see what we're working with. show me your checking. Let's look at each other's accounts. Look at what we have currently. He was cool with that. So he shows me his checking account. His checking account available balance was about, it was just over 9,600. Mine was just over 1,500. So there was a huge disparity in the amounts. And so he logged in on the phone and turned it towards me, and I could see available checking, available balance, just over 9,600. I logged into my savings. I showed him how much I had in savings. He picked up his phone, logged into his Chase savings, turned the phone towards me. In the Chase savings, it was roughly about 15,000. But I also knew that he told me he had a U.S. bank savings and he had an offshore savings. So at this point in time, I asked him, show me the U.S. bank savings, show me the other two accounts. He would not do it. This became a huge bone of contention. He would not show me the two accounts that he claims has the most money in there, the accounts that he claims has money for a house in there, because he still was mentioning, hey, we need to get on this house thing if we're gonna move when the lease is up. So I'm just adamant on, why don't you want to show me your savings account? You showed me the Chase one, like, what is the big deal? And so he kept saying, he was like, there's a lot of money in there. And he was like, and my uncle always taught me, this is not the uncle that died, another uncle. My uncle always told me, just keep your money tight, because women can be, I said, women? Like, we're married, so go ahead and show it to me.
This was going to really hearing this. There's good strumming a hearing this, so by the man started. Wait, imagine these people them married. This man married to this woman. And the man still entrusts his wife by showing she the money in the offshore account and the next account. Because she said two more account he got whereby he would not show she. And here was Sadet going to turn and say, his parents them tell you that do something about woman, and you got stash your money. It's like you got put aside certain money in case a woman, your woman get in some story or you play it back.
Your uncle. My uncle always told me, just keep your money tight, because women can be, I said, women?
My uncle always told me keep my money tight because women could what? What? I mean, he married. He's still there on the outside with multiple females. He's still dealing with multiple females. If he got a mentality whereby he's saying that the uncle tell you, he got mind with women. Nigga, you married, bro. Your wife supposed to know everything about everything. You supposed to know she's supposed to know everything about you. You supposed to, from you hiding anything, you're going against things. You're going against the rules. You can't be hiding. Straight.
Like, we're married, so go ahead and show it to me. He would not show it to me. So then we went back into marriage counseling, like the next session, and I bring it up.
This is what kind of thing is. Full marriage counseling, though. I know they got married counseling, and it's not nothing. I never saw it as a problem when I heard about it or whatever it's a scene. But I believe that two persons should at least learn or acknowledge to work out things by themselves instead of going and telling people. I'm kind of skeptical with that. You know what I mean? Yeah. Let two partners we work it out. We gotta get going here out with business to nobody. But at the end of the day, sometimes it's good to try new things. So what the heck? You know what I mean? If you gotta go and take the counsel, go and take the counsel. she brought up the story in the counseling.
I said he will not show me these two accounts that he claims has the money in there to buy a house. I told our pastor and his wife, I said, I saw the pre-approval letter, so I don't understand why he's not going to show me, to just put me at ease that he has the money in there. I had never questioned it before because, again, you tell me who in their right mind signs their name to a legally binding offer, an all-cash offer on a house, and they just do it willy-nilly. I don't know anyone that does that. So I actually never questioned what was in the savings because I clearly saw him sign his name to a $699,000 all-cash offer on a house. If you don't know what I'm talking about, please go back to the parts in this playlist where I talk about what he did when we were looking for a house. So the pastor and his wife were like, Legion, that's not his name, y'all, that's a nickname. Legion, why would you not show your wife your savings account? Like, what's going on here? And so he made up some bullshit. And I remember the pastor's wife was like, something ain't right. And so at this point, Legion kind of shuts down. He's just like, look, y'all are not going to tell me when and where I open up my accounts to show anybody the money I earn.
Moss?
I earn that money.
Legion is a sad man. Legion is not them play. They ain't got no pastor could tell me nothing. We come bringing up story to pastor about and brother and preacher and deacon and all them thing. We not a buy see me account. I done said already. So we are bringing Jesus neither Satan can't make I show you me account. Nobody. This is how sad the man sad. This is what the man try to tell y'all. So I don't know why you bring it up.
I earned that money by playing football, blood, sweat, and tears. He went to this whole Denzel Washington monologue about how he earned that money, and no one is going to come in and tell him that he needs to open up the account. So then he starts talking about the ex-wife and how she tried to get money from him in the divorce back when they were in California. So now the pastor and his wife, their red flags are just like, whoa. So much so that the pastor's wife said,
he's crazy. Who does that?
And I will never forget this. She said, I don't think you all are going to make it to January. What she was talking about is, I don't think y'all are going to make it a year. And I really, truly was like, we're going to make it. Like, of course we're going to make it. And she was just like, I don't have a good feeling about it. And so Legion's all defensive. He at this point he's folding his arms and because remember we're on Zoom. He's folding his arms and he's just like, I'm done with this. Like, I'm not gonna get attacked because I'm not comfortable showing you the amount of money that I have. Money changes people. And I'm not comfortable. So he's playing that victim card. And so the pastor and his wife were like, you know, we're still gonna help y'all as much as we can, but so he was like, I'm not comfortable. And basically the pastor and his wife were like, look, we'll help y'all as much as we can, but there's some deep issues here. And you know, this is what they advised us. Had the two of you came to us for premarital counseling, we would have told you, do not get married. Y'all should not even be together. That is what the pastor and his wife told us in marriage counseling. If you two had come to us for premarital counseling, we would have told you, y'all should not even be together, let alone get married.
Hey, I tell you, you know, the man said anytime you Ali come in for counseling, we should call it pre-war counseling, they would have never, ever agree for them to get married. Because it's two mad people. It's two people who heading good. both of them head ain't good. You see? On a serious note, is both of them head ain't good, but all two them head lash up.
But here we are. So we will help you guys as much as we can. But the pastor's wife was like, I don't have a good feeling that y'all are going to make it a year.
The pastor them just want to make you all a zero, cause them don't know, well, yo, this shit ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work. Cause he's a jerk. Oh my God. This shit is crazy. I'm like, yeah, it's crazy. Okay, let me get 24. So I'm a bed. I got things to do.
Part 24, who the fuck did I marry? So, remember, we're in April. We're now moving towards the end of April. And he still did not show me his savings account. Saw the checking, saw the Chase savings. So he decides that we should start looking for a house again, because my lease was up in August and I made it very clear that when the lease is up, I am moving. I wanted to move to Cobb County. So he was like, we need to get the ball rolling. I didn't want any parts of it. Didn't want any parts of it. He found a realtor. This time it was a woman. And I believe her name was Amber. I think her name was Amber. So he found a realtor and he told her what the budget was. Amber started finding houses. So please understand, or you don't really have to understand, but I believed he was a sane, rational human being. Sane enough that you would not sign an offer on a home if you didn't have the money. That's what I believed. So when we started working with Amber, I believe showed us 3 or 4 houses. It was not nearly as many as the other realtor, Scott. So one of the houses, absolutely loved. Ugh. I love the house. I really wanted to put in an offer on that house, and I'm going to post it on the screen. The house. Love that house. It was just absolutely beautiful. And once again, he wanted to put in an all cash offer on the house. But before he could put in he had told Amber, I want to put in an all cash offer. And what Amber, the woman, was smart enough to say is, okay, let's just go ahead and take it one step at a time. Let's go ahead and get your pre-approval stuff together. She said, I work with a great lender who, if you're not already pre-approved, he can get you pre-approved, no issues. And then if you want to do an all cash offer, then we'll go ahead and get the proof of funds together, so that way we can submit it all with your offer. Jesus. Y'all already know what happened, because you remember what happened on the last house with Scott. Basically, Legion was like, well, I can get you whatever you need. That's fine. But I really don't want to submit proof of funds unless they accept the offer. Amber, and I don't know where she is. I don't even know if she'll ever see this video. Anyway, let me keep going and I'll explain why that woman has a special place in my heart. So Amber was like, I totally understand, but this is how we're going to do it. I'm going to need that paperwork, okay? And we'll submit it with your offer. She just simply was like, yeah, this is how we're going to do it. And so he did not submit the paperwork when she had asked him to. And I remember I was driving to work and I stopped at the Quick Trip on Upper Riverdale Road in Riverdale, Georgia. And Amber had called me. It was in the morning. She had called me. And I believe with all my heart that Amber knew something was up, but she also knew I did not know what was up. So she called me and she was like, I just don't understand. Like, if he has the paperwork, like, you can submit the paperwork. But the issue was the Chase paperwork that I had was from a year prior. So my understanding was that it pretty much was no good at this point. So she said all he has to do is just email it to me or take a picture of. She was like, I just need to know that he's able to back up his offer. And I said, I totally get it. And she was explaining some stuff to me. She was like, you know, he needs to do X, Y, and Z. And so I said to her, I remember I said, I don't know what's going on. I said, I'm going to get down to the bottom of it, but I don't know what's going on. And so let's put a pause on this whole thing. Let's put a pause on looking at houses. Let's put a pause on getting his pre-approval letter, because I'm not sure what's going on. And she got quiet and she said, okay. I said, and I know this sounds weird. And she said, no. She said, that is actually very smart. She said, do your research. And if I can be of assistance, call me. She said, whether you buy a house with him or you buy a house on your own, I will be more than happy to represent you. I don't know where Amber is today, but that one sentence, I felt like just woman to woman, she was basically telling me something ain't right. Baby, something ain't right. And now you need to open your eyes. I'll be more than happy to work with you. If y'all get your shit together, I'll work with both of you. But whether you buy a house or not, do your research and then let me know what I can do. That was our conversation at the Quick Trip on Upper Riverdale Road. So I got off the phone. That was the last time that we worked with any sort of realtor. That was the last time that we looked at any sort of house. And I don't remember exactly what happened after that meeting that day. I do know that when I went home, I simply told him, I don't want to look at a house right now. I said, I think it's okay if we rent. We'll just find a house in Cobb County and just rent for a year. And let's build, save some more money. Let's not worry about buying a house right now. And basically what I was trying to do was save face, because that was the first time with Amber that I actually was embarrassed at the fact that he and I, because I felt like I was complicit in the fact that I'm going to look at houses with him. I felt like we are wasting these people's time. I did not mean to waste your time. I clearly see my time as being wasted, but that doesn't mean I need to waste your time. And I felt embarrassed at the fact that we wasted her time coming across as serious buyers. When time came to put up or shut up, nothing was put up. And I knew nothing. I had nothing to add to add to this, because we're talking about a $650,000 house, and I'm I don't make that. I don't make anywhere near that. So it just became one of those situations where I was trying to save face. I was trying to save face with my husband, and I was trying to save face with Amber. And so I did say to him, let's just rent for another year, and then let's see at that time where we are, if we should go ahead and buy. So now is when shit is about to get real.
Well, as you guys heard, that is 24. Definitely, man. It was a pleasure being here with you guys, man. We're gonna continue this next week. Yeah, you don't know anything already. Definitely, we're gonna continue next week. Next week, Monday also. Do remember, it's all about GT at seat. You got the man Alabama in the building. So you don't know what going on. It's bomb. Otherwise, in the next week, Monday, we're gonna be streaming live in the daytime, you understand? After the lunch break radio show, you understand? Around 4 o'clock, we're gonna go live. Burn up a piece of stream, because you don't know what going on. This is the podcast, streaming channel, YouTube channel. Let's talk the things, you understand? So make sure you subscribe, like, share. You know the code already. Give the video a thumbs up. Put your post notification bell upon all. That's what you gotta do so you'll be notified at first when we go live. You don't know what going on after 12. So after one certain place, you don't know what going on. Until next week, yeah boy. DJ5, you know, it's a pleasure having me here with you guys. You know, I gotta pull the curtain down. So you don't know what the thing go.
Get ready for the ultimate party experience, Elegance, on Saturday the 30th of March at Caribbean Fest, Queens, New York. Aries season, Gold Clears, birthday celebration with music by DJ Munda, RG Entertainment, Angel Vibes, and Rising Rock Sound System. Aries season, live performances by Famous Easy, Foreign Keys, and Pioneer. Buy your tickets now on Eventbrite. Gold Clears birthday party at Caribbean Fest on Sunday the 30th of March. Aries season, Elegance. Get ready for the ultimate party experience, Elegance, on Saturday the 30th of March at Caribbean Fest, Queens, New York. Aries season, Gold Clears, birthday celebration with music by DJ Munda, RG Entertainment, Angel Vibes, and Rising Rock Sound System. Aries season, live performances by Famous Easy, Foreign Keys, and Pioneer. Buy your tickets now on Eventbrite. Gold Clears birthday party at Caribbean Fest on Sunday the 30th of March. Aries season, Elegance. Get ready for the ultimate party experience, Elegance, on Saturday the 30th of March at Caribbean Fest, Queens, New York.
We making money. Never have fun in time. Stand up against the wall.
Making money every day in the play. You know it's Mr. Feelings and Wildfire Entertainment. Spider, you know what we think. And we tell them already making money could never be a sin. Wildfire, what did I say? Huh?
Show me some money, enough of them get vexed. Show me some money, enough of them wonder what come next. Show me some money, enough of them start screw. Nigga, me not care about you. Show me some money, enough of them bad mind. And once that Mr. Feelings from Shabba, but his mind is going to be mine. But his mind is going to be mine.
Me never born with no gold spin on my mouth. No, me never living in a 3-story house. No, me never know about no expensive coach. No, me just know what hustling all about. Yeah, I hustle hard and me not stop play. Me hustle hard 'cause that is the way. Thank Father God for guiding me through the day. That's why me always a hope and pray. When you a climb them, why you fi fall? When you a walk them, why you fi crawl? Bad mind nigga, why you fi stall?
But them can't get you out no after all.
So we a hustle every day. We a hustle and you know we not play. Gotta make the money, make it anyway. Gotta make the money that they say.
Some money enough of them get vexed. You say money enough of them wonder what come next. You say money enough of them start screw. Nigga, me not care about you. of them bad mind. Wanna stop this to be in some shallow, but it's mine, it's going to be